Hey there, good afternoon, traders. Trader Tim from over at eminimine.com doing a short and sweet Monday market analysis video. Today's first trading day of August, August 2nd, 2021. Typically, the month of August can be a little bit uh, weird at times, at least in the past, 15 years or so. The month of August tends to be my least favorite, and sometimes, the market doesn't act very technical that in the same way that we're used to. A lot of times in the summer months, the ranges can shrink a little bit or slow down, but things generally adhere to the basic technical analysis principles that we use. But the month of August can be a little bit squirrely at times, so just keep that in mind as we go through these next 4 weeks. We have the negative 23% on the daily chart here is 44.62, and we spent a little bit of time basing or moving sideways, which has been good. Last week we had the Fed meeting announcement, not really a huge reaction off of that or the days following. So you can see this uptrend line here. If we continue sideways for the next couple weeks, we could easily tag it and then move higher. We could also get a little bit of a pullback here. That would maybe be in the form of one or two bigger down days to tag up on that trend line. But if we go higher from here, this 44.62 should be fairly easily attained. Even 44.50 would kind of be the next bigger milestone. Oh, it's only about 30 more points from our all-time highs. So there hasn't been a ton going on intraday, but just wanted to touch on the daily chart here. And let's move over just briefly to the SPY. Take a look at some of the indices here. Riding that trend line just like we've seen in the SPY, that up channel trend line. The Dow hanging out near its all-time highs as well. NASDAQ looking pretty strong, even with Amazon dipping on Friday. Tesla's had a nice move. We talked about that on Thursday. Like the pattern here in Tesla, finally broke the downtrend line and getting some strong support at 622, bouncing 3 times here and then moving up to the 700 level. And then the last one, the Russell, just a big sideways mess. Not a lot going on there. The VIX back down in the teens. Not anything too exciting happening over in the VIX. I would watch if we were to come up and spike and break this 25 level. Okay, now that might spark some red flags. But every time we get these pullbacks lately, really the entire year, they've been bought up. So we have these couple days down, and then it's met with a gap up and go. And so you got to be looking for those gap ups at lows, buy them at the open, and we'll be off to the next leg higher. So if that pattern were to change, then I would be, again, that would set off a little bit of a red flag. But as of right now, every one of these pullbacks have been super short-lived, and then boom, we're right back up into new highs. So those are the kind of patterns that I'll watch for to give me some signals if the uptrend, in this case, is going to be changing for the long term. Otherwise, any pullback is pretty much buyable. One question I had last week, or I was chatting about with a trader, if you have a high deductible savings or a high deductible medical plan, you can get a health savings account, and some employers do contribute to those, but you can contribute just like a Roth IRA if you're underneath the income limits. You can contribute about $7,000 a year, I think is what the family, $7,200 or so, somewhere in that ballpark. And you can actually invest those funds into just like you would in your retirement account. So once you build up some cash and you at least have enough to cover your deductible or your kind of your max out of pocket, then you can take the rest of that money and put it into, it's still within your HSA, but it's being tax free, and then you can invest it and let it grow just like your other retirement or long-term savings vehicles. So that's a really good option, especially if you're tapped out in other contribution areas, or if you can't contribute to a Roth IRA. And you're basically self-insured, so you just have a high deductible insurance plan. That's a really good option. So with that, tomorrow we'll be doing a live trading session back to Tuesdays. You can check that out at emoneymind.com/VIP. I hope you have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.